are Gay and Robert. 5 years ago, we quit our jobs, sold our house and all of our possessions, and began living the dream of traveling the world with only backpacks on our backs. After flying over 300,000 miles and visiting 82 countries, COVID brought us to a screeching halt. True to our fashion, we improvised and bought a brand new van and built it out in just 6 weeks to explore the United States until international travel opens up.
So 2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 4x4 high roof with the diesel engine. This is a 2021 Mercedes Sprinter standard roof, no four-wheel drive, with the gas 4-cylinder turbo. So we have both of these here now. This one's built out, this one is not, but it will be in the next few months, so stay tuned. But I'm going to give you the differences between the two. So one thing to look at on both of these vehicles, outside of the four-wheel drive and the engine, stuff like that, is the height difference, obviously. This one is about 12 inches taller, interior-wise, than this one. But if you take that away, everything else is the same. So you can see the windows, or it might be hard, we're going to be putting windows in here, but the window cutouts are the same. So it's from the roof up that's different. So all this is the same. So interior, outside of height, is the same. Same dimensions in there, same wheelbase. Everything's identical to that. The doors are smaller than that as far as back here, but the front doors are the same. This one has a diesel engine in it, which the advantage of it lasts a long time. The disadvantage is a diesel particle filter. All the emissions cause havoc to many people that have the Sprinter vans. The advantage to this one, which is a gas engine, it's so far we've only have a few hundred miles on it, but it's getting around 18 miles per gallon compared to about the same on this. So almost the same miles per gallon. The only thing is this is not loaded at all, has nothing in the back. This one weighs about 8,000 pounds. So once this is loaded out, we'll see what the miles per gallon is. The advantage of this one is you can idle it. You can't idle the diesel. So if you needed heat for emergency or whatever, that gives you advantage on the gas. If you take it to Mexico or even in the United States, a lot of the diesel has biodiesel in it. And that's not good for the engine, and it's not recommended by Mercedes. I think they allow you 10%. As we're in the gas engine, there's no issue. Another thing with the gas engine is there's a lot more space inside of the hood. So again, everything from the roof down is the same. So you have quite a bit of room in that, and I'll show you in a second, compared to what you have in the diesel. But the diesel is what most of the FedEx trucks are, stuff like that. So this is highly sought after, but this intrigues me quite a bit because a little simpler gas engine. This one has a 9-speed transmission. This one has a 7-speed transmission. If we look at the differences in clearance, so this one seems, the four-wheel drive seems so much higher than the two-wheel drive. But if you look at ground clearance, so if you take where the shocks are, at the bottom of the shocks or the rear differential, that's 9¼ inches on this one, and is 9¼ inches on this one. So the ground clearance is the same. Now the body clearance is 2 inches more, even though Mercedes said 4 inches, but that may be because this one's loaded out. And so once this gets loaded out, maybe it'll be. But Mercedes advertises the four-wheel drive as 4 inches higher than the two-wheel drive. When I measured it, it's 2 inches difference. But again, maybe this will come down when it's loaded out. I'm not sure. Other differences, same wheels, same tires. Interior is the same options obviously available on each one of them. Both of these have the blind spot indicators, which we love. The inside, I'll show you. give you the difference. So one of the issues with that one is of course the height inside. And so we're going to build that one out just like this one, and we'll see what it is. If that one feels even close to as nice as this one, that's the way to go, because your clearance is much lower. We go through trees. We followed our son through Oregon and some back stuff, and he had at the time a Tacoma, and he was low to the ground, and we were just scraping like crazy on all the trees. So you would take the two-wheel drive standard roof and you would not have that issue as much as we do. So if it's the same as far as the interior, then definitely that's the way to go. But so this is ours right now, and quite a bit of clearance. So if I step in here, so our step is quite a bit more, feeling wise, like I said, it's only 2 inches, but I'm 6 foot tall and I have plenty of space, and we have a ceiling built in here. So plenty of space to get around, and in a second I'll show you that one. But otherwise it's the same, everything's the same inside. It's just the ceiling ends, you know, like in this or whatever, you'll see, but it's just lower, but the base is all the same, flooring's all the same, everything up front's all the same. So all right, so that is the high roof version. So now let's look at the standard roof version. So again, very similar. The flooring's a little different. That one has the wood floor. This is the plastic composite floor. I don't know which one I like better. I mean, I think equal. This is the one that I wanted in there, even though it didn't have it, but I think that one's very nice also. So now I'll step up in this, a little easier step up, but only 2 inches, so not that big a deal. As you see, I have to bend over slightly. I mean, it's not too bad, but again, it can be a total deal breaker for people if they can't stand in their van. So I understand that, and when it gets built out, it may be it's, you know, tough. But we're going to swivel these seats. We're going to do all that stuff. But as you can see, it's not too bad. You can definitely get around. And so if you want the low height for like a daily driver that you also camp in or whatever, then this may be the way to go. But as far as the inside is concerned, like I said, all this stuff, you know, from this point down is the same. I mean, this is all the same. It's just, it's lifted up another 12 inches on the high roof. You know, wheel wells are all the same. I mean, everything is identical. This one has the manual emergency brake, as where we have the electric one. Not a big deal. I think that's, you know, that's about it. This one has a little bit more fancier dash than what we have. This one comes with the panels, which is kind of nice because we're going to put windows in all these spaces except for the rear back there, and then we're going to use these within the 80/20. So it'll be nice. So this is a nice addition, really, because right away it feels good in here. So next one I'm going to show you is the engines. Okay, so this is the V6 diesel turbo, and a great engine, I believe. We had the i5 on a 2006 Sprinter chassis, and it was great. And that was pre-emissions, so that did have some of the issues. What people don't like about this is, just like any of the diesels, is the diesel particle filters. The emission controls tend not to be great, and so we'll see. We've already had the diesel particle filter replaced on warranty, but that might have just been a manufacturing issue, you know, so no big deal. Other than that, it's been running good. As you can see, it takes up a lot more room, and, or, you know, it takes it up pretty good, even though there's still room to work, so it's good. This one uses like 13 quarts of oil, as where the four-cylinder, I don't know the quarts offhand, but it's going to be less than this. So one thing with the diesel, so with the diesel particle filter, you need to put in diesel exhaust fluid. It's very easy, fairly cheap. It doesn't burn it that fast. But that is required because what happens is with the diesel particle filter, as your exhaust is coming out the diesel, it collects the bigger pieces of that exhaust. Instead of just letting them go out into the air, it collects them, and then after like maybe 500, 300, 400 miles, whatever, there's a certain area that it goes ahead and burns it off. It uses this fuel, which then burns really hot, like, don't quote me, but like 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit or something, really smoking hot under there. And it burns all that up and I guess puts it into smaller chunks, you know, and then exhausts out the back. So this is one additional thing that you have to do on the diesel engines. Not a big deal. I mean, hardly ever have to fill it up, but again, it's a complication. And it may be that you find out that this diesel, which is true, I love diesel engines, this thing might run for, you know, 1 million miles, 500,000 miles. But the gas engine, I mean, we had a Prius that ran 250,000 and we sold it to somebody that was going to use it and probably still using it. So it's hard for me to, you know, back in the day, maybe the diesel was much better than the gas engines, but now the tolerances on them, I think, are so much better that I wouldn't be concerned with the gas engine at all. So I will show you the 4-cylinder turbo gas on that Sprinter. So this is the 4-cylinder turbo gas engine for Mercedes, and a lot of it's the same. The nice thing is you have a little bit more room to work. So I've not obviously changed the filter on anything like this so far, but I'm just looking at this. Oh, that looks really slick. But anyway, there's the oil filter, and there has a different cap on it, so it looks like you can just take a ratchet and pull it out of there by putting on a socket, which is very nice. The other one requires the whole thing to be grabbed. But anyway, there's a lot more room in here. A lot of the stuff's reused. This looks the same as on the diesel. So if you take this off, because this is fairly big, there's a lot of room in there. Of course, you have spark plugs on this one that you don't have on the diesel. The 4x4 gives you a little bit more room to get under to drain out the oil, but you know, not too big a deal. We had a 2006, which was not a 4x4, and was easy to drain oil on that one. This oil capacity is going to be much less, I would guess. That one's like 13 quarts. I'm not sure exactly what this oil quarts is, but it's going to be less. And as you can see, this is where the DEF went in on the diesel, and there's a, you know, the plug-in, all that is all gone, of course, because you don't need the DEF here. But so it's just obviously all reused for that. Other than that, I think that's it. I mean, my take on it is I'm super excited about the possibility of having this one build out as nice as that one. And it's not going to be perfect because of the height, but is it really, really good? Then the thing to do is get this in a 4x4, which are really hard to find right now, as every van's really hard to find.
Wait, we'll show them how perfect it is. Perfect for me. I have no problem standing up.
It's true, you know, depending on your height, it's
a she van.
Yeah.
A he van could be mine. Maybe we should consider that
yeah.
when we build it out. So it's perfect for my height.
Yeah, if you're, I'm 6 foot. I'm 6 foot, but if you were, you know, a few inches below that or whatever, it makes it much better. But again, it's like with our boat too. The smaller, the better, but it needs to be functional. So that is where we're gonna see when we build this out. But a lot of the differences are just for options, you know, the 4-wheel drive or whatever. It's only the height really on this and the gas engine. The gas engine's an option. So excited to build this one out. I think both of them will be awesome vehicles in the long run. So we will see. Thanks for watching. And if you have questions or whatever, comment below and I'll try and answer them. Definitely not an expert on these, but have done quite a bit of work on that one. This is very similar to that as far as, you know, the modifications and such. So definitely comment below, hit a like and subscribe, because we're going to build this thing out and we are going to show you how the standard roof builds out and how it feels inside, and we'll give you all the details of all that. So it'll be fun because I'm excited to see what it's doing. So I'd watched somebody else's channel that was building one out, and we're going to build it out the same as the high roof 4x4, so it'll really give a good comparison.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.